How's it going, everybody? This is Music Major coming to you guys live in a Call of Duty Ghosts gameplay, but we're not going to talk about Call of Duty Ghosts. We're going to talk about a subject that dawned on me at the midnight release of Madden 15 last Tuesday. And I'll tell you what, it's an entertaining one because I got down to thinking about it and thinking how many different types of people there are in this world and how many different types of personalities you run into. And nothing epitomizes the gaming community more than a midnight release. So I really wanted to talk about the types of people that you see at midnight releases. Predominantly, let's call this the Madden edition of how you perceive these midnight releases. Now, if you guys go all over the internet, there are plenty of different lists. I did get some inspiration from some lists, but I've kind of tweaked it. Like I said, we've kind of swerved towards a Madden 15 version of this. So first off, let's talk about the people we meet. Number one, the 11-year-old who will definitely be better than you at this game. Now this kid, it's almost midnight. It's a school night. Many schools have started back to school by now. You sit there as the common person sitting there wondering, what are you doing with your life? Because you're 11 years old, it's midnight, and you should be in bed. If that's my kid, I'm whooping your butt for being out there so late. But you have those kids out there, and then you have the parents that indulge in or enable. So, and they're sitting there just like, I want to go home. I got to be, in the office at 5. They're sitting there going, oh my God, I have this report to do, and I have so much stuff to do. And you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, dude, I feel so bad for you. And then you have those arrogant high schoolers that fit the bill too, and it's safe to say predominantly the majority of them are seniors because they have nothing to do. They only go to class for 4 periods a day and then go work a part-time job or do nothing. But you have a lot of that going on, at least with those kids. And that always is, let me tell you what, such a joy to stand behind them because, we were all 18 once and, they think they know the world and how it operates, and they are sadly mistaken. Next you have number 2, I guess, well, maybe number 3 on the list. But number 2 is you have the employee that really doesn't want to be there. It's midnight. They want to go to bed. They've been at work, probably worked a 10 to 14-hour day somewhere around around that area. But they don't want to be there, and you'll run into this in your GameStops, stuff like that. Now, the places that I go for midnight releases, everybody's really cool. Unfortunately, I'm a regular in the spot, so they're pretty cool. But, the next person that you see is the guy who came immediately at midnight and is perplexed as to why there is a line for Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, Madden, and they want to leave immediately. They don't want to be processed. They don't understand how the order works. They try to cut to the front of the line, and it's just, they make everybody mad because it's midnight. They want their stuff done, and they're ready to rock and roll. And you guys have gone through the process. Everything is all checked out for you guys. And they're holding it up because of their lack of preparedness. So it's almost, to them, it's more of a lack of preparation on their part doesn't constitute an emergency on your part. But it's still incredibly frustrating. And these guys generally are the bros, the chachas, the guys that walk in. Or my personal favorite is the guy that you get who has been boozing it at the bar and is like, oh shit, it's midnight, let's go get Madden or something on their way, while they were going to Mickey D's to get some, late night menu action or something like that. The next guy that you run into is a guy who knows everything about Madden. Case in point, this is a guy that I had at a midnight release who was decked out in Detroit Lions gear. Let me preface the rest of the story with, I have nothing against the Detroit Lions or the city of Detroit at all or anything like that. But the guy knew everything. And being in the line of work, or this hobby rather, of what I do, I like to pride myself on thinking I know a decent amount of stuff that goes on in the business. This guy knew more stuff than I did. He's talking about developers who left Tiburon, why defenses are this way in Madden, why cover 4 is better than a cover 1. That's just paraphrasing. I wasn't really necessarily listening too much to indulge on his conversation, but it was like, holy crap, dude, don't you have anything else better to do with your life? And this was my personal favorite of the entire release. The guy who is decked out, this would be your cosplayer if you're doing Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty or something like that. The guy who is decked out in Cowboys gear and thinks they have a legitimate chance at the Super Bowl. So now let's all take a moment and have a moment of silence for the man, because he actually thinks the Cowboys are going to do well. You know, it'll probably be another 8-8 season, you know. And I know I'm probably going to get crucified on the video, but whatever. The next one is kind of a combination of the two, and this goes back to my old friend in the Detroit Lions regalia. The guy who is hopped up on energy drinks is 52 years old, and he cannot separate real life from Xbox. So it's kind of, you're sitting there and you're like, you're listening to this guy talk, and you're buried in your phone. And if you guys followed me on Madden release night at midnight, I was tweeting some pretty hilarious stuff. But that's at Music Major TV. It'll be in the description too. But anyway, he's sitting there talking about how he's not thinking of phrasing it all or anything. And I'm pretty sure the guy was a little bit snocked too. He was, you know, he was a little snocked. He's talking about how he's getting his ass gashed and, you know, stuff like that. And Madden, I'm sitting there, dude. I'm like, dude, phrasing, you know, it's kind of like Arrested Development. If you guys have ever seen that show, and you get Tobias, and he's like, oh, I blew myself, and he's covered in blue paint. You know, it's like, dude, phrasing, come on. But he is just so hopped up. It's midnight. He's talking to everybody, and you're like burying your head in your phone, and you're like, come on, dude, please don't talk to me. You know, hoping, and you're like, you're thinking, don't make eye contact with the guy, because it's the second you make eye contact with him, it's over. It is just game over. He thinks he's found his new best friend. You guys talk. You guys have been like long lost brothers who have been, you know, separated at birth, and it's just suddenly you guys have debates on NFL things. And you know, if you sit there and you're gonna go, dude, it's midnight, don't talk to me. Lastly, the person that you find at the midnight release, any guesses? It's yourself. I was kind of sitting there wondering, at the tender age of 24, what am I doing at a midnight release? I'm sure it's Madden. This is a tradition. I've done this for about 7 years, and it's just it's a passion of mine for sure. But at what age do you sit there and go, how am I not going to end up like 52-year-old guy? How am I not going to end up like Cowboys guy? How am I going to be sure I don't end up like guy with, you know, that knows everything about Madden? How am I going to not be the guy that arrives at midnight? You know, and it's just like, you sit there and you're like, I have work tomorrow. I'm just doing this so I don't have to pick it up tomorrow after work, so I can jump in and play. I have a day off tomorrow, you know. And it's just like, I sat there and I go, really? I go, I'm not much different from these people. And that's where this whole video comes full circle, is I'm just not much different from these people. I'm just the guy who kind of hangs out, you know. And I can think about it with Black Ops 2. I went with J-Bar and Shelster about 2 years ago when Black Ops 2 came out. We went to the midnight release, and it was insane. That was probably the most crazy one I've been to, because we were wrapped around a GameStop here in town, and it was just like, we were separated in the quadrants, and people were just talking about, oh, dude, my KD's so crazy and stuff. And I'm like, it's fun to get into the fanfare. That's the neat thing about midnight releases. And it's just, I love people watching. I find people so interesting to see how they perceive what I do in my daily life, and to see how they, you know, interact with people. And it's some people have social skills, others don't. And it's just, you have to kind of adjust to that. And it's interesting to see how these people behave in public, and it's kind of funny. But that's the end of that video, guys. That's my little spiel there. I thought it was kind of an interesting thing to talk about here. But just to let you guys know, we're going to be having some updates coming on about plans for the channel coming up here soon. I keep saying that and hinting that, but it's probably going to happen this week. A lot of interesting stuff getting ready to hit as well as some changes maybe coming to the schedule here temporarily, just because the real job is going to be accelerating more so into a real heavy-duty shitstorm, pardon my French, but it's going to be getting getting a little crazy here, so we might have to temporarily delay that. But I also do have some interesting news on the Twitch front as well as the PC fund as well. But I am waiting for some news regarding graduation to kind of pan out as well, to see how, to see if the PC will be actually coming as I anticipate it to, or if I may have to delegate that money somewhere else. Hopefully that story pans out to being one I can laugh at and tell on stream or on the video. But as for now, guys, as you see, the video has come to an end. We are, I think we went about 8-7 this game. But thank you so much for all the love and support, guys. Make sure to smash that like button and hit that follow button. Subscribe, too. 44 subscribers. Holy mackerel. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow on Twitter. And like I said, subscribe. We'll see you next time.